Welcome back, Giants fans. I just streamed the game for about 4 hours and 15 minutes, so I pretty much got everything that I wanted to say out of the way. But I'll make a reaction video like I always do. The Giants fall to the Chiefs. I think 2017 was the score, and it really felt like a game that neither team deserved to win. That's the best way I could put it. I mean, the amount of penalty yardage accumulated in this game by both teams. The Chiefs had 12 penalties, resulting in 103 yards. The Giants had 10, resulting in 88. And let me start with Joe Judge on that. Joe Judge is a guy that came in here and said that the Giants won't beat themselves, we won't beat ourselves, we'll be fundamentally sound and all that crap. And what we see week after week is a guy that coaches this team that. Like, I don't know what Joe Judge does well right now. I don't know. Like, what Joe Judge's game management even sucks. The fourth downs he should go for, he's kicking field goals. The timeout management was horrendous tonight. What is Joe Judge doing right now that should leave me confident that we have our head coach? Now, I don't want to move on after 2 years. I really don't. When Joe Judge was hired here, especially after what we saw last year when the team played hard and despite a 6-10 year, this was a coach I thought would be here for a long time. And now halfway through 2021, we're questioning, is this guy even a good head coach? And right now, it doesn't look like it. Things can change, of course, but right now, what does Joe Judge do that really makes you Giants fans out there confident that he's going to be this head coach that's going to be great and lead us to playoff appearances and hopefully a Super Bowl down the line? What does Joe Judge do right now? I mean, nothing. This guy's supposed to be the CEO of this team and just manage the game and manage the timeouts and have his team ready to play. We don't see any of that. This team, for the most part, defensively, was great tonight. For the most part. There were some parts that weren't great. But defensively, shout out to Patrick Graham. Did an awesome job taking Travis Kelce out the game. Shout out Logan Ryan for getting the fumble caused on Travis Kelce. They took him out of the game. He had like one catch. Now, Tyreek Hill, you can't take both of them out, but there were times even on like crucial third down plays where Patrick Graham took away both guys and made, the Mecole Hardman and the Byron Pringle type guys and Josh Gordon guys beat them. Like, I thought Patrick Graham was great tonight, despite like some of the lack of pass rush in the first half. Guys like Leonard Williams stepped up and all that. Like, we saw some guys on defense play very well. And Patrick Graham included, of course, was the mastermind behind that. He had a great game plan to attack this Chiefs team and hold them to 20 points. This was a Chiefs team that I think was number 7 or 6 in the NFL in scoring. Yes, they scored 3 points last week, but this is a good offense. All right, the offensive line in KC is not perfect. They don't have their first-round running back. I get all that. But when you can stop Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes and hold that team to 20 points, it's phenomenal. And it should have been like 13 because of the interception that Jones threw on the first drive. So, Patrick Graham was great. I can't sit here and blame the defense. Did the defense have some penalties that hurt them? Yeah. And most notably, the Tay Crowder one. Stupid. Like, he's basically fighting with the backup tight end and throwing his head on the ground and getting the penalty. Like, these refs are calling everything. Tay Crowder has to be smarter. All right, they always say he's a smart kid. Well, we'll show it. Don't let your emotions get the best of you in a close game where getting a 15-yard penalty is going to kill you. Don't do that. So, defense was fine. Joe Judge stunk. I can't say anything good about the guy. I like Joe Judge. I want him to work out, but what can I say positively about Joe Judge? The timeouts weren't good. There was a freaking play in the first half where it was a 3rd and 4. They're on the KC 6-yard line, so they're close to scoring. And Sterling Shepard runs an out route, 2-yard gain. Okay, 4th and 2. Once again, the Chiefs' 4-yard line, and they kicked the field goal to put them up 14-10. I just don't really, I don't know. I just don't understand some of the thought process that goes through Joe Judge's head. Going into KC, you have to put up points to win this game. Now, once again, I'm not asking for you to go for every 4th down, but in that certain situation where you settle for 3 points, where you're a 4th and 2 away, and basically 4 yards away from the end zone, you kick the field goal. It was like, a 24-yard field goal? I don't know. It was really close field goal. Should have never been kicked. It's things like that Joe Judge always has that I'm playing not to lose mentality. He's not going to KC to go out there and win the game. put his nuts on the table and do what Dan Campbell did against the Rams a couple weeks ago with the fake punts and the onside kicks. Joe Judge wants none of that. Joe Judge wanted to go into KC and run the ball and, get these short yardage gains and have the defense win the game. Well, you tried that and it didn't work out. Your team that you think is just very well coached, of course, had a ridiculous amount of penalties. You had to waste timeouts because guys can't get set on offense. You have to have these penalties where guys are getting false starts. Will Hernandez had one. These stupid holding calls. This is not a well-coached team. It's not. I don't know how you can look at this team and say, yeah, the Giants are a well-coached team. You can't. They were last year, it felt like, but not anymore. This something is going on here that has to change because it's ugly. Like they're losing. The Giants beat themselves. So did the Chiefs. The Chiefs beat themselves, but they won. Right? They were not good either. Like you look at Patrick Mahomes' stat line. He freaking sucked. 29 for 48, 275, 1-1, including a red zone interception. The guy stunk, honestly. The Giants' defense was really good. I mean, really, outside of Tyreek Hill, everything did not go right for the Chiefs' offense. Like, if you read off that Patrick Mahomes stat line and asked me, do I think the Giants win this game? I say, yeah. Like, why can't they score 20 points and win? Why can't the Giants score 21 plus and win this game? Why can't they? Is it because there's too many injuries? Okay. Yeah, all right. Sterling Shepard was out. Kadarius Toney missed a couple drives. Kenny Galladay's not playing. But this is a freaking Chiefs team that is so bad defensively. You couldn't string together some drives and put more points on the board. It's just a lack of execution thing. It really is. Like this, there was a play late in the game where this is the moment I knew they were going to lose, by the way. Darius Slayton had a slant pass. It was like a 2nd and 7, I think. And Darius Slayton had a slant that would have gained 5 yards. Now, he dropped it, of course. It was a good throw right here, and he dropped it. Made it a 3rd and 7 instead of a 3rd and 2. Then I forget what happened the next play, but it's incomplete, and they punt it. And then, of course, KC comes down and gets the go-ahead field goal. It was at that point, like you see something like that, something that small happen with Darius Slayton where you're like, okay, that's going to cost us the game. It could be a simple 5-yard slant drop, and something like that can change the game. But the offensive philosophy of Jason Garrett has to be questioned as well. Now, I defended Jason Garrett last week. I thought he called a great game against Carolina. He had all these play-action rollouts, which we didn't see much of today. We saw a couple of them. We saw one work to Kyle Rudolph. We saw one work to Evan Engram, but we didn't see many of them today. Now, I will give the Chiefs defense credit. They were not allowing Daniel Jones to break away long runs. They were not falling for the read options. They were not falling for Daniel Jones breaking to the outside and running. Like, they did not allow Daniel Jones to beat them with big runs. I will give the Chiefs credit in that regard. I felt like the Chiefs defense was, they were pretty good. I mean, they obviously on paper aren't that good. Their stats are terrible, but scoring 17 on them is just not, you can't have it. You can't go into Kansas City and score 17 and go, all right, we're going to win. No, you can't do that. So, Jason Garrett has to be questioned. The Giants, once again, had to take like one deep shot in this game, and it worked, by the way. I hate that. We've seen this twice this year now, I think, maybe more. But I remember week 1, CJ Board had the big catch on the opening drive, and that was like the only time the Giants passed the ball 20 yards more downfield. Like, if you're 1-for-1 doing it, why not do it again? Like, what is holding you back from not attacking this team downfield? Like, I know Tyrann Mathieu is still playing at a high level, but like, who in the Chiefs secondary is scaring you right now? Javarius Ward has been not playing well. L'Jarius Sneed has not been playing well. They have Juan Thornhill and Daniel Sorensen at the other safety spot. Like, why is that striking fear into you to not go deep? Your offensive line, for the most part, was holding up okay in the first 3 quarters. Then, of course, the final drive happened and they basically fell apart. But what is stopping Jason Garrett from wanting to go downfield more? Like, I don't understand. Like, something has to change. And honestly, if Jason Garrett does not put up like a respectable offensive performance against, I know Garrett's not playing, but if he does not call a good game against the Raiders next week, get rid of him. I'm done. I don't care if he's your friend, John Mara, get him out. I'm done. Put Freddie Kitchens in there, see what happens. You can't ruin Daniel Jones' career because you want to be buddy-buddy with Jason Garrett. There's too much riding on the line. You spent a 6th overall pick on Daniel Jones, who, by the way, didn't play that well tonight, okay? It wasn't the best game. The interception was a freaking killer. You can sit here and blame the injuries and blame the offensive line all you want. Daniel Jones throwing that interception to Willie Gay that resulted in 7 points was a 7-point swing. Like, that's, the Giants win that game maybe without the interception. So, And it came at the worst time, by the way. The Giants defense looked horrible the first drive. Then they get this lucky interception that pops in the air, and Julian Love comes down with it. And then on the first passing play, you throw an interception. So it was the worst timing and everything. So I will say Daniel Jones could have played better. It wasn't the best performance. The guy didn't have much help, but he could have played better. So, there were times where Jason Garrett just went back to his old ways. Short pass after short pass, run play, predictable run play, and all the same crap. Now, I guess on the positive side, Kyle Rudolph scored a touchdown. We got that going for us, right? Kyle Rudolph earning that contract. Good to see. I don't know. This offense it's not fun. It's just not fun to watch. Like I can deal with it if you're a boring offense and it works, I could deal with it. When you're a boring offense and you suck, and you've sucked for a year and a half now for Jason Garrett, I just don't know how they can support that. I just don't think it's worth ruining Daniel Jones' career potentially because you can't fire or demote your friend Jason Garrett if you're John Mara. It's ridiculous. Like, Daniel Jones is, whether you like it or not, is the most important player on this team. That's what the quarterback position is. When you're a 23, 24-year-old quarterback, a first-round pick, you're going to be the most important player on your team. And hiring Jason Garrett in the first place was idiotic, right? I tried to give it a chance. Didn't work, right? We knew that last year. They bring him back this year, and it's like the same crap over and over again. Their offense still sucks. I don't know what they rank in the NFL right now, but I can guarantee you the Giants have a bottom 10 offense right now. It sucks. Probably bottom 5. They are the worst red zone offense in football, at least coming into this game they were. And Jason Garrett does nothing, like nothing creative. Like, there are some plays, like, he had Kadarius Toney throw a pass today. Oh, look at that. Like, there are some plays, but you see the Chiefs and all the simple stuff they do, how they send Tyreek Hill or Mecole Hardman in motion. They do those tap passes, and there's a 30-yard gain, and they do like these the shovel passes to the tight end Kelsey that sometimes and they score touchdowns on. Like, why can't we have that? Like, it's not like Andy Reid is it's not like Andy Reid is like this unattainable play caller that you can never find anywhere else. Like, there's creative play callers around the NFL, but you decided to go with Jason Garrett, who was this 1990s and early 2000s style of offense, while Daniel Jones was really kicking ass as a rookie in the West Coast offense. You decided to go with the old-fashioned offense. And I'm not saying Daniel Jones was flawless as a rookie. He had plenty of turnovers and had stuff to work on, but Daniel Jones as a rookie at least had the Giants as a league average, respectable offense. With Jason Garrett, they're not. They are bottom 5. They stink with Jason Garrett. I don't understand how he's still here. I really don't get it. Other than the fact that he's friends with John Mara, which pisses me off to no end, because John Mara cares about relationships more than winning. That's what he's proven to me, at least. So if he has a bad game or calls a bad game against the Raiders, I don't know how you bring him back. You can't further ruin Daniel Jones' career because you want to have your friend Jason Garrett call the plays. Go after yourself. No, get him out. I'm done. O'Shane Ximines, offsides call. That was the easiest thing to see coming, right? I mean, they get him to jump off sides. We also saw Leonard Williams jump off sides too at one point. I mean, Leo played well. I'm not going to say anything bad about him. But O'Shane Ximines, who finally did something in the first quarter, he knocked the pass down. Thank you, O'Shane. About time you showed up this year. But anyway, he goes off sides, and it was like a second and 15 or something. It was, a pretty long distance to go. And Darnay Holmes in zone coverage intercepts a pass from Mahomes, and it was going to be a big game-changing play. But you guys can see on the live stream, I wasn't excited when he caught it because I knew it was going to get called back, because you can see that O'Shane Ximines jumps off sides before the ball was snapped. So it's little things like that, little things like you jumping from here to here is like the difference between getting an interception. Now, does Mahomes throw that ball if he knows the offsides is not there? Maybe not. Maybe Mahomes doesn't throw that ball. But still, we see that as an interception that's taken away because you had to be offsides. There's little things like that, and just the stupid penalties, like the freaking Elijah Penny. You catch a pass, you stumble for 15 yards, you get a big gain, and you're in a guy's face doing this and probably telling him to go F himself, whatever the ref heard, and then you get a penalty for it. And it's like, why? Like, this team is supposed to be coached well. They are. Like, you don't see the the really well coached teams out there killing themselves with penalties and getting 10 to 12 penalties a game and costing themselves 80 to 90 yards every game. You don't see that. But with the Giants, we have seen that at times this year. Once again, the Giants had 10 penalties for 88 yards. You can't have that. You can't go into Kansas City, beat yourselves that badly and expect to win. And they were this close to winning, by the way. It was close. But I'm just disgusted. The run defense sucks. I mean, I look at the rushing yards, by the way. There was some guy, Frank Gore's son, whoever the hell it is. Not Frank Gore's son, but Derek Gore. 11 for 48, 4.4 a carry. I mean, there was a point in this game where that guy just did an entire drive on his own and got to the end zone. I don't think he did score, actually, yeah. Darrell Williams was only 3.8 per carry, but still. I mean, our run defense stinks. All right, let's be honest. Mahomes, once again, didn't play a great game. I mean, credit to Bradbury, credit to Adoree Jackson, credit to Darnay Holmes. He played well for the most part, those guys. They did. So I can't really sit here and complain about him. Logan Ryan causing the fumble. So I can't sit here and complain about the secondary, even the defense in general. I mean, our linebackers aren't that good. We know Reggie Ragland, who he is. We know who Benardrick McKinney is. We get all that. I mean, it sucks without Blake Martinez. We get it. The offensive line, we'll talk about them. I mean, Nate Solder made an ass out of himself on that final play. There were 2 times in this game. You would think it happens the first time. Okay, we'll fix it. We'll make the adjustment. There were 2 times in this game where Frank Clark was lined up as the right defensive end over the left tackle. And he did a stunt, went right up the middle, right between the left guard and the center and the A-gap, and got a sack. Well, I think maybe one time he got a sack and one time he disrupted the play. But either way, it happened twice. The Giants had plenty of problems a couple years ago with stunts. They've gotten better at it, but then we see it happen twice on the same exact concept in this game, and Frank Clark disrupts the play both times. So it's annoying. I just don't think this team is well coached, and I'll tell you what, I mean, while I do think the season's probably over as it is, if they lose to the Raiders next week, that's it for me. I lose all hope in making the playoffs. I lose all hope in salvaging this season. If they can't beat the Raiders at home, especially with all the crap I talked about the Raiders before the season, if you go back to my preseason schedule prediction video, I talked a lot of crap about the Raiders. I was like, you guys better win this game. So I guess the one thing we have going for us is that the Raiders don't play well at MetLife. They played the Jets there the past 2 years. They should have lost last year, and they lost 34-13 a couple years ago against a 6-win Jet team or 7-win Jet team. So they don't play that well at MetLife. That's the one thing we have going for us. So unfortunately for us, the Raiders are coming off a bye. We're coming off a short week, so we're getting screwed there. They get 14 days of rest, and we get 6. So, not to make all the excuses in the world, but it's not an ideal situation. So the Giants are a home team, though, and the Raiders are going, are playing a 10 a.m. game because of the time zone difference. So I guess it kind of evens out. Anyway, if they don't win that game, I'm not saying I'm quitting on the season, but I'm losing all hope that they're going to find a way to fix it. I'm losing all hope that they'll ever compete for a playoff spot this year, because there were some people that are like, hey, we might get that third wild card spot. But looking at it now, guys, there are 16 teams in the NFC, of course, as we know. The Giants right now are ranked as the 15th team in the NFC. So they're right in front of the Lions and right behind Washington and Chicago. Chicago, that's good at least, but still. Teams like Seattle will get better with Russell Wilson coming back. The 49ers should get better. The Vikings are better than us despite them being terrible. The Saints, they get Taysom Hill back. I know Jameis tore his ACL, but, they'll be all right, I think. Their defense is good enough. They could run the ball. So I don't know. I don't think we're making the playoffs. I hate to say it. I just don't see it happening. Prove me wrong. All right, prove me wrong. That's all I have to say. So, but yeah, this was a very much winnable game. Honestly, if I looked at some of the stats coming into this, the penalties the Chiefs had, the game Mahomes had, the game Kelsey had, I would have felt very good about our chances of winning. But of course, this team has no idea how to win. The Giants don't know how to win. This is a losing franchise. The Giant way is dead, and that's what happens. They don't know how to win. So I don't know how they're going to figure it out. I don't know if it's going to take another new head coach, a new GM. I don't know what the hell the fix is. But something's got to change because this can't go on much longer. So once again, if you join me in the stream all night, I appreciate you. Hopefully it was somewhat entertaining, but it just sucks that this was the result, because this was a game they should have won. This was a game they should have went to Arrowhead or KC, whatever the hell it's called, and got that win. They should have got that win. Just if you play that game back and the Chiefs make all those mistakes, I would hope the Giants win that game in a different scenario. But they lost, and that's just the way it is. So You know, shout out to Darius Slayton, shout out to O'Shane Zimenez, shout out to Jason Garrett, shout out to the Daniel Jones interception. Like it's crap like that that kills this team, and I don't know, it sucks. I hate it. So anyway, that'll do it. When's my next Giants video? I don't know. I'll put something out soon. I don't know. But I'll probably talk about, definitely have some bye week content. I might do like a trade deadline reaction if we do trade anybody. I'm sure some people may ask about that. I don't think they're trading anybody right now. I could be wrong. They should be sellers. They should sell somebody, but like they probably won't. It's what the Giants would do. But if they make a move, I'll talk about it. If not, I'll find something to talk about. But anyway, that'll do it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.